Tonight, one of the greatest and longest running shows in American capitalism is coming to an end.
The time has arrived.
On May 3rd, Warren Buffett announced he plans to retire as CEO of Berkshire Hathaway by the end of the year. It marks the end of an era, the closing chapter of the greatest investor of our time. So today, I want to reflect on 10 of my favorite Buffett moments. These aren't just finance tips, they're weird, wise, and unforgettable moments that made Buffett a legend. From $3 McDonald's breakfasts to billion-dollar bets, this is the legacy of the world's most unlikely rock star. We have to start with the most famous Buffettism: be greedy when others are fearful. There is something deeply comforting about this quote. It's been repeated so many times, but it still hits hard, especially during a market crash. Of course, when everyone is fearful, selling their stocks, Buffett encourages what we now call buying the dip. But it's not just about being brave, it's about trusting long-term company fundamentals. During the 2008 financial crisis, he put billions into blue-chip companies when most people were terrified to even open their investing apps. That move made him a fortune, but more importantly, it shows us what real conviction looks like. He's not a gambler. He's been a calm, rational investor who's seen it all before. Buffett is of course a strong believer in his portfolio businesses, but none more so than the cherry Coke. He owns a massive stake in Coca-Cola, sure, but it's gone a little bit past that now and it's become a part of his personality. The man drinks several cans of Coke every single day. You'll see him at shareholder meetings with a Coke in one hand and peanut brittle in the other, like he's at a kid's birthday party. And somehow it works. That image of a billionaire sipping soda or casually explaining complex investing strategy is peak Buffett. It makes him seem less like some financial overlord and more like your quirky rich uncle who happens to own 5% of Apple. Similar to Coke, Warren is also a massive fan of McDonald's. Every day, it's said that he starts by deciding which of 3 McDonald's breakfast combos he'll buy for that day. He makes this decision based on how the market is doing. If it's a good day, he'll go for the $3.17 meal. A meh day, $2.61. He literally puts the exact change in his cup holder and drives to McDonald's himself. Only Buffett could turn a drive-through breakfast into an investing metaphor. But it shows how routine-driven he is. His life isn't flashy, but it's built on rhythm, structure, and small, consistent decisions. Whether it's investing or breakfast, he doesn't overcomplicate things, which is maybe why he's been doing it better than anyone for 60 years. Buffett was often criticized for being too slow and missing the boat on opportunities like tech in the early 2000s and crypto in the mid-teens. One of his biggest flexes was in 2007 when he bet $1 million that the S&P 500 would beat a basket of hedge funds over the following decade. Hedge fund guys thought he was crazy, but 10 years later, Buffett absolutely smoked them. The index fund returned over 125%, while the hedge fund guys lived in at around 36%. The market beat the professionals. But for Buffett, it wasn't about the money. It was about showing simplicity beats complexity, and the buy and hold strategy beats trading. The Oracle of Omaha proved what he said all along. For most people, low-cost index investing will outperform the experts. If there is one thing Berkshire investors look forward to every year, other than the shareholder meetings, it's Warren Buffett's annual letter. And not just because they are insightful, it's because they're fun to read. He'll crack jokes, admit mistakes, take little jabs at himself, and sometimes others, and somehow still drop 50 investing lessons in the process. These letters are required reading for anyone serious about managing their money. They're a bit like having a beer with the smartest guy in the room who somehow doesn't make you feel dumb. The letters remind you that great investing is about common sense, patience, and understanding people, not just crunching numbers. With Buffett moving on, it's hard to imagine anyone matching that blend of insight and humor. But investors everywhere will be hoping the letters continue because they've become part of the culture. Buffett is the king of metaphors, and this one, it's perfect. When times are good, everyone looks like a genius. But when the market crashes, the people who took dumb risks get exposed, like they've been skinny dipping and the tide just went out. It's a brutal image, but it sums up investing so well. Whether it's over-leveraged banks, meme stock traders, or that one mate who YOLO'd into crypto at the top, Buffett called it before it happened. This quote of his always comes up during recessions, and every time, it feels more true. Among the many things Buffett does to show his modesty, his house is a big one. While most billionaires acquire monster properties, he lives in the same one he bought in 1958 for $31,500. No mansion in Beverly Hills, and certainly no secret island. Just the modest corner lot home in Omaha. And of course, it's been renovated a few times, but the guy could literally afford a castle. This fact always stands out because it's so rare among today's wealthy. Most billionaires scale up everything, their cars, houses, and yachts, and even wives. But Buffett, he just didn't. It's not that he's cheap, he just doesn't spend to impress, and maybe that's why people trust him. He's living proof that wealth isn't about showing off, it's about staying grounded. There aren't many billionaires who plan to give nearly all of their money away, but Buffett has been crystal clear about it. In 2006, he announced he'd donate 99% of his fortune to charitable causes, mainly through the Gates Foundation, run by Bill Gates. He's already started this process, giving away more than $50 billion so far. He's also inspired others to do the same through the Giving Pledge, alongside the likes of Mike Bloomberg and Carla Khan. What's wild is that he lives such a modest life, which makes this moment hit even harder. It's not PR, it's principle. It should come as no surprise that Buffett is a technophobe. He's even said so himself, avoiding tech stocks for decades. Simply, he didn't understand them, so he stayed away. Then, in 2016, he changed his mind and went all in on Apple. At the time, people were shocked, but it turned out to be one of his best investments ever. Even after investing billions, he admitted he didn't use an iPhone and didn't fully understand the technology. And this was in 2016, when Apple was already one of the biggest companies in the world. Despite this, what he did understand was loyalty, brand strength, and cash flow. And Apple obviously had all three. It's a perfect Buffett move. Ignore the hype and focus only on the fundamentals of the business. In a 2011 CNBC interview, Buffett said in a deadpan voice,
I get in the deficit in 5 minutes.
How?
You just pass a law that says that anytime there's a deficit of more than 3% of GDP, all sitting members of Congress are ineligible for re-election.
The internet went nuts. It wasn't a literal solution, but it certainly struck a nerve. It showed just how much Buffett hates political gridlock and how frustrated he is with Washington's lack of accountability. It wasn't a real solution, but it certainly made people wish that he was running for office. If you enjoyed this little tribute to Warren Buffett, hit subscribe and drop a Buffett down below in the comments to pay your respects to the GOAT of investing. And if you want more Buffett wisdom, check out these two videos here, where I dive into a couple of his most legendary speeches. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to catching you in the next one. Cheers.